welcome to SveNFL.
What's up, y'all?
It's Jonathan Rollins.
And Schif Misora.
We're two Americans living in Sweden, talking about football.
Oh, yeah. Let's fucking go.
And in this episode of SveNFL, we're actually both sitting in the motherfucking studio. Let's do it. Schif came through, man.
Uh-huh. I'm all up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
And I needed to get out of my house. I needed to just be in the world. I sometimes feel like if my routine gets too repetitive, I feel like the weight of the universe is like on my shoulders. And I just got to remind myself that there's a world outside of my little desk that sits in my bedroom. And sometimes I just need to exit into the universe because
I've got controlled fury, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh shit! And you got a soundboard.
I do.
You got access to the soundboard. It's not only me, so you get to feel like
I'm going to speak my mind for a second.
Yeah.
through the soundboard, man. It's gonna be fun, man.
And when my wife tries to come in the room and say, like, "Oh, I've got some things I'd like for you to do today," I just look at her and I say,
"We do not care."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be fun, man.
Okay, so before we get into football,
Yeah,
I want to talk some more about the Olympics.
of course.
I mean, the Olympics are so fucking dope.
Yeah, I love it.
They're so dope.
I love it. Every day I'm just sitting there like looking at random sports.
I did watch some more. I watched some of the rugby. I have to say, it's like, it's because I don't know all the rules.
Yeah.
So I still find it a little confusing.
Yeah.
But
I don't
it
know
is
the
very
reason.
impressive.
Yeah, because I don't know how many do they get for snaps. Like I don't know that. I don't understand. Like how you can stop them on defense. It feels like you just wait for them to fumble, kind of, or drop the ball to go forward, type of thing. But it's exciting when they get to the edge.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been watching the Simone Biles and the rest of the women's. To me, I think in the Summer Olympics, the women's gymnastics, I think because, you know, the opportunity for complete and utter disaster is always right there.
Maybe that's why.
You know what I mean? And like when those girls, and especially when they get up on that balance beam, and it's like literally, what is it, 4 inches wide?
Yeah.
And these girls are doing like triple fucking backwards flips and shit. Like you can't even. And then when they do that close up shot where it's like a close up like of the length of the bar.
Yeah.
And first thing you see is their feet leave the frame. And then all of a sudden you see their head
upside down,
staring at the bar.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, even before their head exits the frame, you see their feet again.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? How?
It's crazy.
That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, and they got some more medals. The ladies gymnast team.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a Brazilian girl. A lot of people like her. Andrade, I think is her name.
And Rebecca Andrade, I think is her name. She's badass.
Yes.
She can dance. Brazilians can dance. And she got some
won the
mad
floor.
sass out on the floor. Like,
Yeah, she won the floor. She won the gold in the floor. And then she won gold. Biles won silver, and Suni Lee won bronze, or something like that.
Yeah,
the three of them won. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. No. I'm sorry, not Suni Lee. The other girl, Childs.
yeah.
The U.S. team has been kicking ass, man. It's great.
I watched a little basketball. It was kind of like, what was it? I think it was U.S. versus Puerto Rico, and it's funny. The U.S. starts really slow. It's like, wow, the game's tied, and then
It started at 0.
I walk out of the room for 10 minutes, and I come back, and it's like they're up by 25 points.
Yeah.
So that wasn't that interesting.
No, I love it, man. I've been watching some. I watched some fencing.
Right. Weird, right?
Yeah, and then I've come to the conclusion. Sorry about your people, man, but the Italians are the whiniest.
You think so? Well, yeah, of course.
I watched the fencing. I never seen people take their mask off. I didn't know that people. I was like, I thought the mask was like attached and they couldn't take it off. This Italian lady kept complaining so much. She kept ripping her mask off, complaining to the judges all the time, and for the gold medal match. And I was like, damn. So then I was like, okay, this lady's complaining a lot. And then I had seen some soccer in the past, and then I remember the Italians like whining, and then the boxing. Well, that was an Italian girl fought the Algerian and then pretended that she thought it might have been she played into the whole thing about it might be a guy. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
And it's like, come on, Italians, tell your people, get your people, Schif.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I gotta say, it's funny. I didn't realize, I've rooted for the Italian soccer team my whole life because the U.S. team was never very good when I was a kid.
The guys.
Exactly.
The women are better.
And the women didn't really exist as a team so much in the 80s either.
Okay.
So it wasn't until the 90s that the women's team got really good.
Yeah, man. Me and Ham.
So it wasn't until I moved to Sweden that I realized how much everybody hates Italy. Because I just assumed, how it is in America.
Yeah, man.
Everyone's
Pride.
got some kind of other heritage to back it up. You know what I mean? And it's
I love the Irish. I love the Italian,
and all everybody from Minnesota, they root for the Swedes and all that kind of stuff. In Pennsylvania, they root for the Germans. But it wasn't until I got here that I realized, oh fuck, everybody hates us. That sucks. Because that was the year. The year I moved here was the year Italy won the World Cup that summer.
Oh shit!
In 2006. And I was hyped for Italy being in the final, and everybody I knew was like, yeah, fuck it, I hope they lose.
Damn.
I was like, whoa, what?
Oh.
I was like, over France?
Okay. Well, they're hateable this year. I'll tell you that.
True.
That woman did not, she knew her too. It came out that they fought together, trained together, and she's pretending, she didn't say it, but she was talking about, I've never been hit that hard in my life.
Oh, that's such a dick move.
And they've trained against each other before in the past, so you've been hit by her before, trying to act, and then you know the background of that. Should I go into that?
Sure, I know a little bit, but yeah, sure.
That they used that boxer, Khalif. She that fought for Algeria. She had fought in a tournament by this shady boxing organization. Boxing is known for having shady organizations. Well,
what? How dare you? I feel like you're referring to Don King in this comment, which I will not stand for any Don King slander.
Don't leave Bob Arum out too.
You play to win the game.
But she fought in this IBA is what it's called, the International Boxing Association. It's this Russian organization that was run by this guy who's connected to a crime family type of thing. And she was doing well, and then she beat a Russian boxer. And that
was her first mistake.
That was her first mistake. You don't win that shit. And after that, they said they said nope, it doesn't count. You lost that fight because you failed our sex test.
Wow.
And they've never released it, showing how she failed. They just said she failed the sex test. And that's what these right wing people that don't really care about this Italian woman. They only care about their agenda of hating on the trans.
It's really annoying because it's that situation, and it's also this fucking manufactured outrage over the opening ceremony.
Oh yeah,
which is so stupid. I'm just like, can't everybody just fucking take a breath? Yeah, relax, and just mind your fucking business.
It doesn't always have to be your. Everything doesn't have to be a part of your agenda. Like just relax, man.
Just relax.
Relax, everybody. Have fun. It's the Olympics.
Just enjoy it.
Jeez.
Just enjoy.
I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed.
But other than that, it's been fun. I love checking out these new sports. I haven't watched the breaking because I'm not going to. I'm sorry.
I forgot that was in there.
It shouldn't be in the Olympics, man.
It's weird.
What's wrong with y'all? You are not serious people.
So what are y'all doing, man? That shouldn't be in there. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to spend my time watching that. Skateboarding also feels a little whatever. But there's more sport and competition in that than break. I don't know. Even though, some people compare it to the floor exercise at the gym, but they're flipping and stuff.
Right.
They have names for these flips they're doing, and they're putting it together in combinations.
Well, they got names in breakdown. You got the worm.
Yeah.
You got the,
that was
that was the only move I could do.
Did you see his dab? It's amazing dab. Was that a floss? He did a floss dab combo. Whoa! I know those aren't breaking moves, but I don't know. But it's been fun, man. I've been loving it, and it's just a prep. It's getting me in the mood because preseason's coming, man.
It is. We had our first preseason game. The Hall of Fame game.
I didn't watch it yet. Damn, I'm slipping.
Well, the Hall of Fame game was last Thursday. It ended late in the third quarter because there was like bad weather.
Oh. Okay.
Bears won, beat the Texans.
How did Caleb look?
Didn't play.
Oh, yeah, first game.
They didn't play any of their starters, so we learned nothing. There are some preseason games that are coming up in the next couple of weeks that I personally find a little interesting because we will get to see some. I think the Commanders have said Jaden Daniels is going to play in their first preseason game. I personally am interested to see the Rams because my man, former Bulldog Stetson Bennett, is back from his mysterious non-football related injury that he had last year, which I'm assuming is some kind of a mental breakdown.
Yeah, it's got to be a mental thing.
But anyway, he's back, and it'd be interesting to see him
throw some balls,
play football.
Yeah.
Who else am I interested to see? There's a few. Oh, well, Falcons. I'm assuming Michael Penix. They're not going to play Kirk Cousins, but Penix.
Are you happy about that?
I mean,
You like that? You like that?
I'm sort of beyond. Look,
they should bring in another top quarterback, like just another quarterback of the future. Just why not?
You know what they did? They went out and signed some. I think the guy who was their backup last year, Taylor Heineke. I'm assuming they're just hanging on to him, waiting for some quarterback from another team to get. You know how every year in preseason a quarterback gets hurt, somebody needs a backup, and then they're he's an asset that they can use to maybe, I don't know, pick up something that they need or whatever. Because the Falcons went out and signed some guy who apparently was the best quarterback in the Canadian Football League.
Okay, more Moon style.
So most people would just.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care. Let me tell you.
But, I don't know. If I need an athlete from Canada, I'm pulling hockey players. I'm not really looking for quarterbacks. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Maybe XFL.
But probably the biggest news of the week, or one of the biggest stories of the week, was out of Dolphins universe. Fresh off of landing on the #1 spot on the 100 list, Tyreek Hill.
Wow.
So, first of all, he lands #1 on the top 100. The only thing people are talking about is the fact that they put Mahomes at 4.
Yeah.
Which is
it's weird.
But the caveat is, and this is why these lists are dumb, the players have voted on this. They voted between November and December.
Okay.
Right? So
he had a kind of a slump, too, in the middle.
Mahomes didn't have the best year in the regular season. Which is why the idea of a top 100 list, I guess it depends on how you look at it, right?
It's catnip.
Sure.
It's catnip. It's keeping us a little bit of football in our life so we don't
Exactly, and it gets those clicks and all that kind of stuff. Because for me, like, if I'm putting together a top 100 list, I'm not taking anything away from Tyreek, because Tyreek Hill is probably one of the few wide receivers in the game that I'm sure coaches lose sleep over.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, we got to play this guy this week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a great indicator for me. However, the other indicator for me, if I'm going to put somebody at the top of the list, obviously quarterback is the most important position. If I'm going into one game, winner takes all, you can have anybody you want. I'm taking Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't care how fucking good he played or how poorly he played.
If you have a pickup game with the entire NFL standing on the side in the stands, and you're gonna grab a player,
you're taking Mahomes.
He's the first one.
You're taking Mahomes. Either way,
either him or
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
They're just not gonna want that.
I don't think so. I don't think that would be. I don't think that would be wise. I mean, honestly, it's like
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
so mad at your coach.
I was just looking for a reason to hit that Tyra Banks drop. So, okay, he hits the #1 spot on the top 100 list, and then he signs a new deal, he didn't get an extension. He basically just got more money. Tyreek Hill got more money.
Just pay raise.
106.5 million guaranteed over 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. He's 30 years old, doesn't add any new years to his current contract, but guarantees him 106.5 million over 4 years. That's close to 110 million guaranteed. That Justin Jefferson got from the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, it makes sense. Some of the moves they made, the Dolphins. Okay, so they left some. That's why they left the. I thought they were gonna do like a free agent grab type of thing, like or trade type of thing or something like that. But they just wanted to pay him. Okay.
Apparently, according to Ian Rappaport, this is the most guaranteed money added to a contract without adding any new years.
I hate these ESPN type of caveat hyperbole.
Yeah.
This is the most guaranteed money added without adding a new year.
What's even worse is like when you watch, because we watch Red Zone, and it's kind of funny because they dig even further. Mm-hmm. When you watch it.
With under 150 throws.
That's the first field goal in the third quarter by a kicker with an S at the end of his name. And it's like, wow, come on, dude. Like,
Ian Rappaport. Good job breaking that, Ian.
What other deals do we have? Bears and DJ Moore agreed to a 4-year, $110 million extension. Guarantees.
Are the Bears going to be scary, man?
The Bears are interesting because, honestly, I've spent a lot of time over the summer thinking about this. And I've talked to Isak, and I will talk about these kind of things when we're bored. And
hey, man, what do you think about the Bears?
I don't think I have ever in my life seen a rookie quarterback land in a more advantageous situation ever. I mean, think about this. They finished last season with a top 5 defense. Mm-hmm. Okay. You get the rookie quarterback. Mm-hmm. They got DJ Moore, one of the best receivers out there. And then they go out and they sign Keenan Allen. And that first round pick that they had 2 first round picks. One of them was Carolina's. That's what they used to take Caleb Williams. And then they had their own first round pick, which they used to take Rome Odunze, which is one of the best rookie wide receivers in the draft. And they went out and picked up my man, former Bulldog DeAndre Swift, to run the rock. There's
no excuses.
We're gonna get to the hot seat.
I was gonna
conversation.
Say this is a good setup for a hot seat.
It is part of the argument, but yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a better situation for a rookie quarterback. For sure.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind like straight up. I was gonna first thing that popped in my head was Andrew Luck, but that was more the Colts having a great luck.
Sure,
pun intended. You know what I mean? Because Peyton got hurt. They had that team together, but the team couldn't win without Peyton. And then they got a high draft pick and got Andrew Luck. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I remember that they called it suck for luck. You know how they always try to do it.
So stupid.
Yeah, tank for 2, suck for luck. What was some more? I forget. They always do it every year. But that was more of the Colts winning. But Luck came into a good predicament, but not this good.
No. The
only thing is, Patrick Mahomes is an argument for coming into a good situation because he had a coach that had the foresight to understand if we let him sit, it's even better.
Right.
And that is good because the pressure. I mean, it wasn't as much pressure because he took him later.
But they also got lucky because the Bears were so stupid. That was notoriously the year that the Bears moved up and picked Mitch Trubisky.
Money-making Mitch.
over Patrick Mahomes, which has to be, in hindsight, one of the dumbest.
But even coming out, it's not like Mitch Trubisky was setting the world on fire in college. Yeah.
DJ Moore, this DJ Moore deal makes him the 5th highest paid receiver in the league.
That doesn't seem like that should be that.
Behind,
it doesn't seem right.
Behind Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill.
Is he the 5th best in the league? He's fast.
I'm not sure I would put him as the best.
Do you think he's better than DK Metcalf?
No.
And DK Metcalf, I wouldn't say he's top 5.
I mean,
Is he better?
I would
better
say,
than Jalen Waddle?
I don't know.
And he's a number 2. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't know. When I think about, is he better than Devontae Adams?
No, but Adams is ahead of him.
Okay.
But yeah. No, there's.
Is he better than Mike Evans? I won't have him better than Mike Evans.
I mean, Mike Evans quietly puts up over 1,000 yards every year.
It's like, why did that? To me, it feels like a dumb move
on
by
a
the
bad
Bears.
football team.
Yeah,
Mike Evans is out here with Baker Mayfield putting up 1,000.
Yeah,
over 1,000 yards.
So it's like that would have been my argument, which is which speaks to the Patrick Mahomes adjusting his deal every couple of years. Which is like they're going to be using me as a pawn.
Speaking of that bad football team, the Bucks, Tristan Wirfs.
How much is he worth?
Tristan Wirfs is now worth $140.63 million deal he signed to become the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL.
Straight cash, homie.
So he went into the bargaining room and said,
I need the money. I need the money. I need the money.
And he got the money, man.
He did. He got that money. He got it good.
Tell him to bring me my money.
We got some money stuff on here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, we'll get into this obviously when we talk about the NFC, but it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. I think.
$140 million. God damn.
That's a lot of money. But they're basically running back their whole team, the Bucks. Like they haven't really added much.
You could do shit like that in the NFC South.
True.
They could. It's a legitimate case for them to win the division. I think y'all are gonna win it, but it's a legitimate case for the Bucks to win it.
It's possible, right? I always say, like, you know, when you don't actually have to. If you're being attacked by a bear, you don't actually have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the other people that you're there with.
Exactly.
You know? To me, that's the NFC South.
Have you seen that video of the guy feeding the bear? And the bear showing how fast bears are.
I don't think so.
It's like he's like giving like little pieces of bread to the bear, and the bear's just, oh, thank you. You know, picking up the bear. He like just jumps at him. He doesn't kill him or anything, but the dude gets scared as shit.
You got to see that. Have you ever seen that documentary, Grizzly Man?
No.
That shit is fucked up. This dude from, I forgot, I think he lived in Venice Beach, actually.
This guy was in Romania.
This is from several years ago, Grizzly Man. Very good documentary about a guy who thought he had developed this relationship with bears. And for the most part, it seems like he lived cohesively with the bears.
The bear's like, man, I'm hungry.
But I think the problem was, not to spoil it, but I think, bears hibernate famously.
Yeah.
So I think what he did is that a year in particular, he stayed longer than he should in that period where
they got grumpy.
Where they're trying to, like, hey,
I'm trying to sleep, bro.
Or no, I think it was like they were trying to like they eat a lot before they hibernate, and he stayed during that period where they want to eat a lot, and they ate his ass.
The bear's stomach growling and shit. Like, man, I need to.
And he's like, I thought we were friends.
That's his last words.
I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a fucked up movie. It's a good movie though.
What's it called?
Grizzly Man.
Grizzly Man.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good movie.
Gristly.
Mm-hmm.
The bear ate his gristle.
Mm-hmm. I ate all of them. Let's see.
They slept good. Legend has it, they slept better than ever.
Best hibernation ever. Let's see. Sergeant Segway, speaking of somebody who we wish would hibernate, let's talk about Harrison Butker.
They hibernate that motherfucker up.
Mm-hmm. Rough offseason for Harrison Butker.
Yeah, man.
What with all the sexist, got to keep
Serena Williams going at him.
Got to keep women barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen.
Did you see it? He got roasted at the ESPYs.
That was so great. Her Serena and what's her name? Quinnen. What's the chick from the creator of Abbott Elementary?
Quinta Brunson.
Quinta Brunson. Yeah. I always fuck up her name.
Yeah, she should be in the kitchen anyway.
Funny as hell. Anyway.
Yes, amazing.
It's not illegal to be a prick.
All right.
So the Chiefs offered him $25.6 million contract, making Harrison Butker the highest paid kicker in the NFL.
That's good.
So
he's good.
I mean,
he's good at kicking.
He's obviously a role model for religious fucknuts everywhere. And honestly, you know, it's funny because I have mixed feelings about this. I think you probably would agree with me. I was interested how this was going to play out when football season came back.
Yeah.
Right? Because some of the things that he said and continues to say, you know, again, it's not illegal to be a prick, but it's definitely not good for the brand to a certain degree. So I was kind of curious, like, how they were going to manage this. I personally would rather live in a world, like, I want everybody, I have strong opinions about things, and people don't always like what I have to say, and I'm fine with that. I don't need everybody to agree with me. I really don't.
Same.
And I want to extend that same courtesy to other people that I don't agree with.
Right.
I guess for me, where the problem lies is that, you know, I'm just a guy in the world. I don't have some kind of big ass platform, you know, where I can affect the way people think about things so much.
Point, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it becomes a little more problematic. I think you have you should have a greater sense of responsibility if you have a platform like that. And
people should
be respectful, dude.
But never forget the words of Charles Barkley. I'm not a role model.
Right. Sure.
I am not a role model. So if he understands it, then this guy should understand it, and parents or people should understand it. This is just some athlete. If they didn't make a big deal about it, I wouldn't have known. You know, let him say some dumb shit.
I mean, in all honesty, like, fuck it, I don't really care. I just if I'm
it shouldn't affect his money though. Actually, if he said something racist, then people would have been like, it would have been even more outrage. So maybe it should have affected his money to show that solidarity with women, because it's like it's okay to make fun of certain people, like Italians and women.
I mean, obviously, there's gonna be a lot of pressure on him. If he starts missing kicks, then
exactly, and that's what happened. Yeah, and a lot of times these kickers get paid and they have off years.
They get the yips.
Yep.
The next big story actually dropped this morning. This feels kind of like imminent.
Okay.
The 49ers supposedly have a framework on a Brandon Ayuk trade with the Browns.
Whoa.
Or the Patriots. So the 49ers are essentially just waiting to see if Ayuk will accept the contract terms from either one of those teams.
Damn.
They gave the 49ers gave Ayuk permission to negotiate a contract extension with 4 teams: Browns, Patriots, Commanders, and the Steelers. Both the Commanders and the Steelers dropped out.
What does that say about the Commanders, that this is a really good player? The team they're worried about you so little that they're like, in that same conference, they're like, go ahead, man, take one of our top guys, Commanders. We're not threatened by you at all.
Right. That's a fair point. So apparently the 49ers are reportedly looking for draft picks as well as a veteran wide receiver in return. So the receiver...
maybe that's why Washington backed up.
Yeah. With regard to the Patriots...
Who do the Patriots have?
Kendrick Bourne is the receiver that's being mentioned when they talk about the Patriots. And then for the Browns, the receiver that's being mentioned is Amari Cooper, which is a little...
Oh, that might be too.
Like when I first read the story, before I got to that part, I was like, "Oh shit, Ayuk and Amari Cooper on the same team? That'd be dope as fuck." And I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Now you lose the threat. They have Deshaun Watson.
They just not gonna want that.
That's gonna oof. This has got to be, if we did a quarterback hot seat. When do we say this dude doesn't have it anymore?
I think this is the year. This is it. This year's the year. His is his last chance. They literally went and took Joe Flacco, pulled Joe Flacco off the couch to unlock that offense. And then at the end of the year, they cut Joe Flacco, who like not only made the Browns offense work, but he also wins comeback player of the year. But they cut him because it's like, how the fuck are we going to sit Joe Flacco as a backup and put and send out this fucking multi-million-dollar? You know, they had no choice.
Damn, this is it, man. Put up or shut up.
This is the put up or
He's
shut up.
living off of what, 2019? 28, 20.
It was 2018 or 2019. I can't remember.
Might be 18.
Yeah. Either way, this Ayuk thing feels imminent. I mean, honestly, by the time you hear this, the deal may have already been done. Like, I just read this morning before I came here. So that's pretty fascinating.
Wow.
Probably the funniest story in the rundown here is the Broncos quarterback battle.
A shit bowl brought to you by
Exactly.
X-Lex.
A three-turd race that has consumed the hearts and minds
Three-turd race.
of America.
What are the turds? Turd number 1.
You are trash!
Turd number 1, Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Turd number 2 is
Wait. Let's go through the 3 turds battling for the Broncos starting quarterback position. Schif, take it away. Who are the 3 turds?
Turd number 1 from Brigham Young University, we have Zach Wilson. Come on down.
Zach is also a devout Christian. Number 2 draft pick traded within his first contract.
Correct.
Who's next?
Next up, we have the rookie from Oregon University by way of Auburn University, where he used to get his ass whooped every year by the Georgia Bulldogs, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Yes. And then we have the veteran, the perennial backup, the guy who was supposed to be something but turned out to be nothing, Jared Stidham.
Jared, backup quarterback for the Patriots, known for nothing.
Note for absolutely nothing. You know what's funny about this is that since I wrote this down in my notes, it has been indicated that Zach Wilson is now considered QB number 3.
Oh, shit.
And it has also been suggested that
how bad is he?
That Bo Nix is the likely starter.
Okay.
Whether
Better
that's true,
be.
whether it's true or not.
Because you gotta look of ceilings. We've seen Stidham and Wilson ceiling, so you just gotta hope it's Nix. You know what I mean? Damn, Sean Payton, huh?
Well, you know, and the reason why I say that is because about Bo Nix is because Sean Payton, as of about 48 hours ago, made his first comparison of Bo Nix
to Drew Brees.
So, yeah. Look, there's a world where Bo Nix is a good NFL quarterback. I'm just saying, I've seen the tape. I've seen whole games.
Yeah.
I'm also willing to admit that, you know, quarterbacks can evolve. They can get better. I just don't really. I don't see Bo Nix being a good quarterback with this team. This team is so bad. It's such a mess. It's so dysfunctional. I can't help but wonder, like, if what's his name? My brain.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton is like, why did I do this? How do I get out of this?
Bring back Russell Wilson? You think that's coming through?
Definitely not. And especially when you look at, you know, if you look at the situation that he finds himself in Denver, and this year you look at the Chargers now with Harbaugh, like how much fun does Harbaugh look like he's having over there? I mean, Harbaugh is looking like he's living his best life. Sean Payton, on the other hand, is like, fuck.
Yeah.
I should have just waited 1 year. Had I known Brandon Staley was going to we all knew Brandon Staley was going to get fired.
Yeah.
All you had to do was just wait.
It was a year too long, yeah.
And you probably, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't have gotten that job.
Yeah, they would have loved that, yeah. Damn.
I mean, the only reason Harbaugh...
Sliding doors, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Chargers with him. They might have gone to playoffs last year. Oh, who knows, man? Maybe the league's passed them by.
Maybe.
Doug Peterson, remember? He won the Super Bowl.
Well, also, maybe Sean Payton only won a Super Bowl because he's a fucking cheater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's that, too.
You know? I mean, I don't want to sound like a bitter Falcons fan.
You do sound like one.
But, you know, I don't think there is any other kind of Falcons fan. We don't come in a variety of flavors. We just don't. We'll get to more on that later. Seahawks fans, near miss, ass hair away from complete disaster. Geno Smith left practice a few days ago. Looked like he had a hip and a knee injury.
Oh, shit.
MRI results were good.
I saw it. Here's the MRI results.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Yeah. So he's not expected to miss any time. Now, considering, and I don't think I brought this up last year or last episode, Sam Howell is now the backup for the Seahawks.
Oh, well, there's nothing to worry about over there.
So I actually think the Seahawks are going to be better than most people expect they're going to be.
I think so, but I think their defense is going to be why.
But I think if they lose Geno, it goes tits up.
I think if Geno's having a rough game where he's throwing interceptions, they'll probably look at the bench and say, "He'll figure it out." That's a way to give confidence to Geno because I'm going to stay in the game. I got to figure it out. Sam Howell is going to throw an interception as well. Mm-hmm. So if that's the issue, then I'm staying in the game. Yeah. Maybe that's a good confidence booster to look over there.
We have some other real injuries to discuss. The Titans, DeAndre Hopkins is set to miss 4 to 6 weeks with some sort of a knee sprain.
He's on the Titans?
Yeah, remember he got traded there last year. Oh, yeah. They also have Calvin Ridley now.
Because I felt like that was the Titans' last-ditch effort.
But
yeah, I remember.
But they still have Will Levis, and they lost Derrick Henry. I don't know. I'd be worried if I'm a Titans fan. Even more concerning is the Chargers. Justin Herbert has injured his right foot. A plantar fasciitis injury.
Oof. That's like one of those nagging, annoying ones.
Exactly. But
you were talking about Harbaugh having fun.
Well, he was having fun until this happened.
Yeah.
So apparently Herbert's walking around in the boot. The team is saying that he's expected to be ready for the regular season. But as you suggest, you talk to anybody who's ever had this particular injury, this is something that kind of hangs around.
Lingers like a drug dealer.
Exactly.
Damn, I wish he would just leave.
Yeah. And because it's on his right foot, which is his plant foot when he throws the ball, right? And by all accounts, people who say that they've had this injury before, it feels like someone's like ripping the muscle off of your foot every time you try to plant your foot like that.
Oh, okay. So that sounds not too bad. It's like that meme when they're sitting in the fire all around. Yeah,
exactly. And this could be very problematic. Especially if your job entails attempting to avoid 300-pound plus men who are trying to drive you into the center of the earth. This could be problematic. You know what I mean? And my guy, former Bulldog Lad McConkey, apparently is dealing with some kind of an injury as well. So I don't know. I always go through this thing with the Chargers every year, and this year I had decided I wasn't going to go through it. And then they drafted Lad McConkey, and they sucked me in. And I said, no. I'm not doing this. Yeah. I'm not doing it. And
I believe in Harbaugh, though. And I feel like he was going to take Herbert from being much of a factor anyway. Right. As much as people want. They want it so bad for Herbert.
Right.
But I feel like Harbaugh's going to do it the Harbaugh way.
True. Puka Nacua, week to week, knee injury. Week to week, knee injury, not serious. Okay. That was the quote from the Rams.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, very interesting. You got some criminal news. This is really more for anybody who's preparing for their fantasy football.
I was going to say, criminal news sounds like fantasy time.
Vikings, Jordan Addison charged with 2 DUI misdemeanors after a July arrest. Could face up to a 3-game suspension.
Oof. That's something. Hey, you grab that. That sounds like a good draft pick late late draft pick in fantasy.
Yeah, stick him on your bench, and then he balls out.
Yep.
Maybe.
Who's their quarterback?
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. Yeah. Let's see what else. The stuff coming out of training camps are sometimes kind of interesting. Sometimes, yeah. Harbaugh's out here having to face. Harbaugh's really only in the league because when he was coaching Michigan last year, they were involved in a sign stealing scandal,
and not street signs.
Right? No, they had a guy.
Astrology.
So there was a guy. I don't know if for those of you who don't follow college football, Michigan had a guy named Connor.
It was so obvious.
Connor Stallions was his name. Which,
middle name Meg the.
Unbelievable. He was going to the games of the teams that Michigan was going to play the following week, and he was trying to steal the signs that they used to call their offense and their defense. And in one case, he actually was on the sidelines. Yeah. He obviously knew somebody who worked for that team because he wasn't just on the sideline. He was on the sidelines wearing the warm-up suit for that team. He was pretending he was working for that team when, frankly, he was working for Michigan. And now everyone at Michigan is trying to pull it, they're basically trying to say, well, we had no idea. He was just doing it all on his own. And so, I don't know. But it is what it is.
When they asked Harbaugh about it, he said, huh?
Exactly.
P.O.P. hold it down.
Panthers are in a little bit of trouble. Their rookie wide receiver, Xavier Legette. Also injured day to day.
Damn. I'm kind of rooting against the Panthers. Sorry, Panthers fans out there, but I want y'all to get a new owner.
There aren't any real Panthers fans in the world. But let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all of those things are kind of whatever or boring. Here's another little story I thought was fun. The NFL is going to be trying out the weird sort of technology for the getting rid of the chain. Getting rid of the chain gang and using that weird laser technology to decipher if it's a first down or not.
Will the players see it on the field?
I don't know.
Because that'd be dope if you could see a little laser line and try to get the ball past it.
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to use the same technology they use in tennis.
Okay, that VAR type thing.
And
where you see the ball going by.
The tennis thing and the one, I think it's the same one that they use to determine if it's a goal in soccer.
Right. Yeah.
But
good, man.
It just seems a little like
we're Neanderthals.
Kind of finally. I mean, the NFL's been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
And this is the most precise way that
some guys and the ref.
And sometimes even have you seen the ones where it's they do the chain and then they try to put a card between the thing and the ball? It's how is this the most brilliant way for you to determine a first down?
They could fix that. And like I said, delay a game. That's the most annoying.
I love that delay a game shit that we talked about. Yeah. There were some fun ideas there.
Shot clock stuff, man.
Let's see.
Other sports are out there. We can use those, man.
Also, we spoke about this last week, the NFL losing this massive lawsuit over the Sunday ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it turns out, and this should surprise no one, the NFL appealed, and the judge in the case
went on vacation.
No, he essentially rolled up and said, "Well, because the whole thing, it was a jury that decided this antitrust lawsuit and awarded all this money." The judge comes back a week later and says, "You did it wrong. You didn't follow my instructions. I'm just going to throw the case out."
I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed.
So I guess if you want to sue them, you just got to start over from square one.
Jeez.
That's power. That's power. That's just all it is. It's power. So your idea at the end of last episode, like, oh, we should think of something we should sue them for. It ain't that easy.
That might have been part of it too. That they're like, this is start. A bunch of people suing them.
Yeah. Final news story before we get to the hot seat list. The Atlanta Falcons have sold out their season tickets for the first time in nearly 20 years.
Wow.
Not since the Michael Vick era.
Well, it's probably because of the same player, the same position.
Like that? You like that?
No, that's not why. I think it's Raheem Morris.
I agree. I actually think it has a lot to do with the coach, because the other thing that they don't
First
really...
black coach, right?
First black coach.
Black ass city.
It's Chocolate City for sure. It is a chocolate city, maybe not the chocolate city, but southern melted chocolate because it's so fucking hot.
And they're hype now. You saw the presidential candidate whose current vice president was there, and Atlanta showed up for her.
That's true. Yeah, she showed up in the A. Quavo was there.
Quavo Meg Thee Stallion was there.
They were all supporting.
And Meg Thee Stallion was related to that person that was getting signals for hardball.
Right. That's like a distant cousin. I think this is fascinating. I actually agree with it. I think it has more to do with Raheem Morris than it has to do with anything. And, it sort of brought something up a few days later. I've been watching this receiver.
Yeah, I got to catch up on it.
Show.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say, before I'm going to talk about the thing that we're going to talk about, I had already decided that my least favorite character on receiver.
Before watching it?
No.
Oh, just after seeing something?
After seeing it.
Okay.
My least favorite person that they follow is Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is weird because I really like him as a player.
I agree with this, man.
But I
agree with this.
This whole thing of like, he's got this huge chip on his shoulder.
I could name every player that went before me.
And he does it on the show again. Yeah. I'm like, I've already seen this.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's a bunch of people who...
I look at it before every game.
He puts it up in his locker room. His dad... As much as I can, you can cut this two ways, right? His dad is like a former Mr. America weightlifter guy.
Mr. Universe.
Mr. Universe, sorry. I apologize to the universe and everyone who represents the universe.
And put some respect on my name.
Exactly. And he raised his kids really tough, and they been working out with him for all these years. And you could argue like, okay, well they turned out to be professional athletes because the dad pushed them to be great and to be in great condition. Yeah. My problem with it is that I don't get any indication that Amon-Ra St. Brown is having fun.
Really?
Like, it doesn't look fun.
It's like I had my dance ready for when you get in the end zone. You got to be ready.
Well, yeah, there's that, but even that doesn't seem that fun. Like like everything, he's still
trying to go viral.
It's like, dude, you made it. Okay, you're there.
Congrats.
You can take the chip off of your shoulder.
Yeah,
like every time he makes a catch, like he'll scream stuff like, "I can do this." I'm just like, what? Like,
we know that's why you're here.
Yeah, we think you're a good player.
We think you can do it too, man.
Yeah, we just watched you do it.
I just did this.
It's very, very strange. And so, okay, I brought this up essentially because I wanted to talk about this clip that came out this week where Devonta Adams and Amon-Ra St. Brown are on a version of Hot Ones.
Okay,
the YouTube show where they eat
spicy stuff,
and they talk. So it's kind of a new version of Hot Ones where it's like two people versus each other.
Oh, okay.
And I don't even think the host is there. The guy who hosts the show is not there, so you just get these two people
making money,
and they're asking each other questions.
So it's like a Hot Ones battle.
Yeah, it's like a Hot Ones battle, and Devonta Adams asks Amon-Ra St. Brown a question. I'm just going to roll this, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Competed in stadiums all across the country. Which NFL team has the worst fans, and why? That's a layup.
That is a layup. I want to think. All right, I'm going to give two. I hate the Packers fans just because it's Green Bay. I played for Detroit, but I think some of the worst fans was the Falcons.
Really?
When we played them my rookie year, no one was there. Ooh. Terrible. I'm like, yo.
Oh, so you looking at it as far as support toward their team?
Right.
Okay.
Because I hate Green Bay. Their fans, I mean, they have good fans for the team, but I hate them.
Right.
But I don't know, is there that much to do in Atlanta? I don't know. Because ain't nobody going to the game.
Oh, it took a personal, huh, Skip?
Okay, first of all,
as a Dolphins fan, I can relate to the hate that goes towards my team.
First of all, his whole like I hate Packers fans because that's
it's a rivalry.
That's their rivalry.
Yeah,
respect. Fine. Okay, but for a guy who plays for a team like the Lions, who have been good for how long?
A year and a half.
I mean,
I don't know. This is this Dan Campbell's second year.
I grew up in an era where the only people who went to Lions games were people who showed up with paper bags on their heads.
The only time they were on national TV was Thanksgiving because of a deal made forever ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You play for a team that has been good for a minute. Okay? So don't fucking come. Like, why are you fucking throwing strays at a team like Atlanta? Like,
and then,
of all guys who plays for all, like, for a team like that.
They are, especially it's very similar to where your team was recently. Yeah,
exactly. I'm like, fuck this bitch. Fuck Amon-Ra St.
out of
Brown.
nowhere, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and also think about it. Go back to the other
He's
story.
keeping it real, man.
Look, I don't disagree with him. Atlanta fans are very like fair weather fans.
Okay,
right? So he's not wrong. It's just rude to fucking take a swipe.
There's no
like
way
that.
to not be rude with that question. Some fan base was gonna be mad.
Yeah,
except for Packers. They're like, all right, yeah, of course you hate us. Maybe he should have just said another rivalry team, Vikings or Bears.
Yeah, exactly.
But he didn't, man. He got a problem with y'all.
So
I thought he was gonna say something like Boston because they're racist or something like that.
Yeah, I would have had more respect for him had he said that. Like, why are you going after a team that's fucking struggling? Like, you don't know what it's like to struggle, motherfucker? Fuck you. Because the other thing you got to remember, like this whole story of
Pissed off Skip is the best.
The Falcons selling out their season tickets for the first time in 20 years is not just about like, so everyone forgets usually that, so the whole Michael Vick thing happened, right? That was devastating for the Falcons. What was equally devastating was losing our coach shortly after that, who basically bailed on us in the middle of the season. This motherfucker.
Which coach is it?
Petrino. Bobby Petrino.
Okay.
There were all these rumors that he was going to go, he was going to leave and take a job with his college football team. I forget which one it was. And he said in an interview, I am not taking that job. I'm the coach of the Atlanta Falcons. 48 hours later, he doesn't even say goodbye. He literally prints out a goodbye letter, copies it 52 times, laminates it, and leaves the letter in everybody's locker.
During the season?
Week 11 or week 12, he just bounced. So for the fan base in Atlanta,
Saban,
I'm telling you, like exactly, Nick Saban did something similar. And what happens to a fan base when they follow a team and the organization starts to crumble like that, you lose faith. You lose faith. I don't give a fuck how many wins you have or how many Super Bowls you won. You know, if some similar shit like that happened in New England, I'm telling you, those fans would stop showing up.
Yeah.
If for no other reason than just to protest.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of fans stopped showing up to the Falcons games. They're like, why the fuck should I give you my money when you run the team like this? Fuck that. So this
to the point where 2 Hall of Fame players ended their careers early in that city, on that team.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And if you think about it, a third basically is like, get me the fuck out of here. Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
With the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
All 3 of those guys, Hall of Fame, 100%.
Yeah.
And the Lions basically ruined their careers.
Stafford got out of there, in good time.
So my problem with Amon-Ra St. Brown's comments is that he has there's no respect for the history of what's fucking going on here. and you've been good for like 2 seconds, so you can take your hot take about the Falcons and you can shove it
Put
up
some
your
respect
ass.
on my name.
And I hope we meet your ass in the fucking NFC Championship game and we beat you like a redheaded fucking stepchild. In the A, full house. I want Ludacris in the building. I want Quavo in the building.
Can't wait.
I want everybody in the motherfucking building. I want Usher in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
it.
out on Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oof.
I'm out.
Till he runs a slant route. And
No,
you're
I'm
like,
out.
damn.
I don't even
okay.
want to draft this motherfucking fantasy. I'm
Ooh,
out. I'm out.
I love it.
100% out.
Is it hot seat time?
It's hot seat time.
All right.
Okay. So let's do this. For those of you who are new, we have 3 categories. Category 1 is the safest one. My ass needs a sweater. It's cold as hell up in here.
Yeah.
Category 2, I think I'm going to change into shorts. Means it's getting a little hotter, a little warm. A little warm under the butt cheeks, right? Category 3, desperately in need of a fire extinguisher. These are the dudes whose seats are so hot that blisters are starting to form, and all of the ass hair is most certainly gone. Okay, ass hair is gone.
Okay, ass hair gone.
So a little movement from last year. So sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong.
Okay.
Right? Last year, I moved Pete Carroll into this very, very safe category. No way they're going to fire him type category. But the Seahawks said, hold my beer and watch me kick this old ass gum smacking legend just straight to the fucking curb. Like, I really didn't think they were going to fire him.
I didn't either, just based on the legacy. But maybe he wants to run for president.
Yeah.
He's old enough.
I also predicted, I had Sean McVay in the kind of like medium hot seat category last year.
Wow.
And it was mostly because he, in the offseason, had publicly admitted that he was contemplating retirement. And I think I said last year, he's more likely to retire than to get fired.
Right.
But then he came back and he sort of,
got re-energized by the young players.
Well, somebody drafted Puka Nacua and Kieran Williams, and he was like, oh, football's fun again.
I could build it from the ground up.
Yeah, exactly. John Harbaugh, I said last year.
Man, you'd be missing sometimes.
I said that Harbaugh, that this was his make or break year with the Ravens. So I wasn't necessarily wrong because it was a make or break. He came back.
Made it.
He made it instead of breaking it, and they went to the AFC Championship game, obviously on the backs of Lamar's MVP season, only to get choked out by Steve Spagnuolo and the Kansas City Chiefs defense.
Spagnuolo.
But I'm putting him in the super safe category now. Obviously, he earned it. I think they're going to be great. They got Derrick Henry in the building. Year 2 of my man, former Bulldog Todd Monken, calling the plays on offense. I'm a little worried about maybe their defense isn't going to be as good this year as it was last year, but I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. Then the list of like obvious, very safe coaches would be Jonathan Gannon, year 2 with the Cardinals. DeMeco Ryans crushed it in year 1 with the Texans.
Yeah, that bought him 2 years.
Shane Steichen, year 2 with the Colts. He's fine. Andy Reid is Andy Reid. He's not going anywhere. Antonio Pierce should be safe, but you never know.
Yeah.
He should be. He should have more rope than 1.5 seasons.
Yeah, that's true.
In my opinion.
Yeah, he should get 2 off seasons.
But you never know.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh, year 1 with the Chargers. Obviously, he's safe. Your guy, Mike McDaniel with the Dolphins. I think he's safe.
They should go ahead and restructure that contract.
Gerard Mayo, year 1 with the Patriots. Brian Callahan, year 1 with the Titans. Mike McDonald, year 1 with the Seahawks. Dan Quinn, year 1 with the Commanders. And then, of course, my guy, Raheem Morris with the Falcons. Should be fine. Frank Reich was on this list last year, but Panthers owner David Tepper is like a psychotic man-child. So I don't know. We'll get to the new guy, Dave Canales, a bit later. But
are they paying 3 coaches?
Yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100. Well, 4 technically.
Oh shit.
Right? Eller?
Canales.
They're still paying Matt Rule.
Reich. Matt Rule. That should be it, right?
Maybe that's it. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's 3. Matt LaFleur is on this list. The super safe list. Honestly, this was year 1 of the post-Rodgers era. Jordan Love emerged, they
exceeded expectations.
He emerged late in the season as a star, won a playoff game. They have this talented young receiver core. They got Josh Jacobs in the building. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
Right? So he belongs there. I also have Kevin O'Connell from the Vikings in the super safe list. Year 1 with the Vikings, the thing that he did that was so impressive is that he turned them around from that team that always lost 1-score games to that team that always won the 1-score games.
Yeah.
Right? What happens to them this year after and to be honest, I feel like in a way like he deserved Coach of the Year honors given what he was able to do without Justin Jefferson and the loss of Kirk Cousins with the Achilles injury.
And before the Achilles injury, Kirk Cousins was a top 10 quarterback.
Exactly. I think even top. They were. Yeah. I mean, they were talking like MVP. Kirk. Yeah. Is this the year Kirk Cousins wins an MVP? No, it was not. Doug Peterson, I put on this part of the list. He obviously got a lot of brownie points for not being Urban Meyer.
That helps. Damn, what's he doing now? Coaching high school?
But he won the division in his first year. A little bit of a stumble last year, and they let the Texans leapfrog them. But I still think Doug Peterson is a good coach, and I don't see any reason why he should be in any danger. The last person on the super safe list is obviously Dan Campbell. The entire world appears to be in love with this dude. It's only year 2. Expectations are pretty high though at this point.
They make the playoffs, he's good.
He should be.
If they don't make the playoffs, then he becomes a hot seat candidate. But he's gonna get.
Yeah,
he's got 2 years if
he's one of those guys that I just feel like he understands the team. He understands. I guess you call him a player's coach. Definitely. But I feel like in a way it's kind of insulting to call him a player's coach because he has really turned this into a very talented football team.
Yeah, that's true.
Also,
but you can do that as a player's coach.
True. The other thing that makes me really like him a lot is that, most teams, when they get to be as good as the Lions, you start losing coordinators. All these guys want to come back.
Yeah.
Like Ben Johnson.
That's a good point.
Ben Johnson could have been
2 years.
He keeps pulling out of the head coaching cycle because he wants to work with Dan Campbell. He's like, I feel like we haven't finished what we started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, this guy.
I've got controlled fury.
He just, you can't.
I'm ready to go.
I love this guy. All right, next category. Do you agree or disagree with anybody?
I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, good strong points.
Now we'll get into some shit. I don't know. I'm trying to treat this like it's an iPad all of a sudden.
It's called being old.
Anyway, movement from my ass needs a sweater to the kind of, medium hot seat list.
No, this says movement from hot seat to my ass.
Oh, yeah, movement from hot seat to my ass. These are people I put on the hot seat last year, and now I'm moving them back into a less hot seat.
Okay.
You got onto me last year because I put Kyle Shanahan on the hot seat list, right? I'm moving him to a colder seat because apparently the world is not ready to see what I've been seeing for years, and it just needs another year to gestate.
Maybe you're not ready to see what the world sees.
You know what? I don't even want to argue about it because we'll just see.
Okay.
We'll just see what happens. I think his luck is going to run out soon.
Yeah, I agree.
I put Kevin Stefanski on the hot seat category only because of the mess that the owners had put him in due to the Deshaun Watson deal. But after he did what he did with the team this past year, injuries to Watson, injuries to my man, former Bulldog Nick Chubb. Cleveland, honestly, they should build a statue of Stefanski and stick it outside of the fucking stadium.
Yeah,
like he's really a really, really good coach.
Okay.
So I think he's safe.
Okay.
I really do. Okay, now we're going to move on to the I think I'm going to change into shorts category. A little movement from my ass needs a sweater to shorts. I had head coach Arthur Smith in this category last year. Turns out his seat was a little hotter than anticipated. Weird play calling.
Yeah, he started getting start getting testy with the media. That's when it's kind of time. Like we saw with Brandon Staley as well.
Yeah.
But he gone.
He's gone. He's now the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. So we'll see. I don't know. A lot of people are saying like maybe he's one of those guys that just needs to be a coordinator. I'm putting Sean McDermott in a slightly hotter seat this year. Bills head coach. I just think that
you're saying this is it's a hotter seat for him?
I am, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think Sean McDermott is in I still think he's a good coach, but I just think he's in a difficult situation where it feels like the window is closing. They lost a lot of good players. I don't really believe in the roster that they currently have.
I love it.
And I think, these things oftentimes, someone's head's got to roll, and if it's usually the head coach.
He's a good coach, too.
He is a good coach. Next up is one of your favorites, Zach Taylor. I had him as safe last year, super safe, but the Bengals are kind of in a similar situation where they're staring down the barrel of a double-barreled shotgun here with the salary cap situation and being one of the least cash-rich teams in the league, and can they really make this work?
It's starting to look like this team goes the way of Joe Burrow,
right? And
it's not so much Zach Taylor.
True, and
that's my guess.
Burrow's health is an issue again this year. It feels like this happens every year with him. Jamar Chase is not at practice. He's looking for his new deal.
Ooh.
T. Higgins has, obviously been franchise tagged. He's not happy about that. They lost Joe Mixon, replaced him with Zach Moss. There's also rumblings on the defensive side of the ball as some of these guys are trying to get paid and not showing up to practice as well. To me, this could be the year where it unravels for the Bengals. And if that happens, I personally think that Zach Taylor is a year away.
Yeah. He's got another year
from like having the flaming hot seat.
Yeah.
But agree. If it goes really bad,
if he fully loses the locker room, they got to get him.
The next one on the list is Brian Daboll.
What? I'm a little surprised.
Who goes from 2 years ago being named the coach of the year, which, let's be fair, a lot of times coach of the year usually goes to a first-time coach whose team does better than anticipated.
Yeah.
Because if we're being honest, you're giving coach of the year to someone like Andy Reid doesn't get it because we have expectations of Andy Reid.
Yeah.
But he probably deserves it more than Brian Daboll.
Yes.
In my opinion. Now the Giants.
If Mahomes got hurt and then they still went win the division, then they'd be like Andy Reid.
Yeah. A lot of chaos last year for the Giants. They had to go all the way down to Tommy DeVito as their starting quarterback for a while. They lost Saquon to free agency in the division. Not that that's Daboll's fault.
No. But that could be why they lose a game.
Daniel Jones is back.
Woo! Well, that solves everything.
But does anyone... I watched the Giants offseason Hard Knocks. They tried to trade up to get a quarterback and didn't.
Man, imagine seeing that as Daniel Jones.
Unable to do that. It's all laid bare. You know what I mean? They said, we're going to try to trade up. Joe Shane asks Brian Daboll, if we can get Jaden Daniels, are you cool with that? He was like, oh, hell yeah. 100%. That's who I want. And when that appeared to not be possible, the number one guy on their list was Malik Neighbors, that is what they got.
Wow.
And then it was very funny to watch them spin the rest of the episode as how, like, well, we had 6 picks and we hit on all 6 picks. And it's like, man, you guys are going to fucking be trash. I feel the same way about Dayball that I feel about Zach Taylor. I do think it's a year away.
Okay.
I do think he's a year away.
Okay. So it's like
However, it's New York.
Yeah.
And everything gets a little crazier
It's
there.
intense,
So
yeah.
if it goes really, really bad, they're not really going to have a choice. And the GM will be out on his ass too.
Oh, yeah.
Next guy up is Matt Eberflus.
I feel like his seat should be hot as shit.
I'm putting him here mostly because of the situation they're in, right? We've talked about this a little bit. They draft Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. They get Rome Odunze, who's supposed to be a total badass wide receiver. They get Keenan Allen. They get my guy DeAndre Swift. This is year 3 for Eberflus. And given that Caleb is supposed to be this generational quarterback, I think the leash is going to be very short for Eberflus.
I think it should be even hotter seat.
I was debating on whether to put him on the hottest seat. In a way, I kind of feel like, personally, he should have a year to figure this out. I think he should get a year to figure it out.
I think...
Personally, I think they need... For me, I feel like their expectations, at the very least, is to get a wild card spot this year.
I feel like the other clock you're up against is the rookie quarterback contract.
Correct.
And the way Caleb Williams acted before coming into the league, this dude is not taking a team-friendly anything.
No.
You need to get this shit straightened out, get the right coach in there, get the right players around him. It seems like they got the players part right, but we don't know if it's the coach. So if this thing starts, they need to do like the Chargers did, or they'll probably do like the Chargers did. And if it starts going down, that first year with Herbert, they got Anthony Lynn the fuck out of there. They knew this wasn't their guy. They wanted. Unfortunately, they took a gamble on somebody who knew Sean McVay, and they kind of wasted away that first contract.
Well, the last thing you want to do is what the Chargers did, where you have. I understand and this is why I think Eberflus is on a hotter seat this year. I understand the idea that you're presenting about the rookie deal, all that stuff. You don't want to waste any time.
Yeah.
But the Chargers are now...
Yeah, they're fucked up.
Justin Herbert is now on his 3rd coach in 4 years?
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. If you had a chance to, like, say Jim Harbaugh was coming out, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you knew that next coach, then you pull the trigger. Right away.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's not like... I would like if Bill Belichick is, like, really itching. And you think it's the right guy. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Bill Belichick is the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Something... I never even thought about that, but something sounds right about that.
Man, imagine.
Ooh. Shit. I'd never had contemplated that until you just said it.
He should be hovering over every coach's head.
Wow. He's like the Grim Reaper.
You send the GMs out of there.
Yeah.
If Eberflus goes, the GM goes. Bills both.
Damn. That's woof.
Yeah, man.
That's an interesting take. I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Sean Payton's on a hotter seat this year.
Oh, yeah.
The drama.
It's also, he fucked up that whole Russell Wilson contract shit.
Yeah, the drama, the dickhead energy, the way he handled the Russell Wilson situation, it just wasn't a good look. And then he starts training camp giving equal reps to Jarrett Stidham, Bo Nix, and Zach Wilson. Obviously, they've sorted through it. The likelihood that Sean Payton does not have some kind of midseason meltdown is like 0. You know what I mean? Like he already started this year, the first day of training camp, acting like they just lost 59-0 or something. He's just like, you could just tell he's in a bad mood. Yeah. He knows he fucked up.
He's pissy.
And the people who own this team now have more money than God. They don't give a fuck about losing money. If this ain't working, they're going to blow it up.
He did turn that team around second half of the season.
True. So but, I mean, you could also say that Russell Wilson was better last year than most people gave him credit for.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
So, I don't know. I personally think Sean Payton's a dick.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So, the next name, I hate to do this, but I'm moving Mike Tomlin to the slightly hotter seat list, not because I personally feel like he belongs here, but more so because I think the Steelers fans and the organization are getting a little tired of hanging their hat on the "we never have a losing season" thing. Mm-hmm. Like it kind of like what happened to Vrabel in Tennessee. He had the same thing, right? And I think the organization might be a little tired of it. They want more. It's also very unclear what's happening at the quarterback position.
He'd get hired right away, though. If he did get fired, then this Eberflus Chicago thing, that comes to mind again.
Ooh, I would like to see Mike Tomlin in Chicago.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he would get hired quickly.
I mean, to me, like, the Falcons got dunked on because of the Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix thing. I think Russell Wilson, Justin Fields situation is easily the weirdest quarterback situation in the NFL this year.
Yeah, but that's different than
it's different because they got them both for cheap. Super cheap.
Yeah, Wilson's getting paid by the
Did
Broncos.
you hear Wilson already injured his calf muscle pushing a sled?
Yeah,
it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, we'll see. I think that's an accurate thing, though. His seat's hotter.
I'm also putting first-year Panthers head coach Dave Canales in this hotter seat. Unfairly, only because of David Tepper. He has given me no reason to put him anywhere else. You know what I mean? He should be safe, obviously, but Tepper has proven time and time again that he can't stop meddling in matters that he knows nothing about. And if the Panthers only win 2 games like they did last year, Tepper is definitely going to fire this guy.
Yeah.
100%. Damn. Also, Dave Canales makes me a little nervous, and he's got some weird, icky kind of personal vibes that I'm not here for.
It's the type of person that you're going to get if nobody wants to coach your team.
Exactly. But do you know, Dave Canales has a book.
Oh, Lord.
And he does this thing. Dave Canales, once upon a time, had a drug problem. He cheated on his wife, but it wasn't his fault because he had a porn addiction. Remember that? This is what religious people do when they get caught cheating on their wives. They say, "Oh, I had a porn addiction."
Porn.
That's what Ben Roethlisberger did when he raped those 2 girls. Porn addiction. Oh, if I just hadn't have been addicted to porn. Like somehow they want to couch it in addiction. So you,
blame the addiction.
So you can't blame. Don't blame me. Blame the addiction that I had to porn. So
we'll see
Dave
what happens on the
to
field.
use a word that the kids are using nowadays, Dave Canales is a little sus.
He's sus.
I'm trying out some new new words. He's a little sus. Mike Vrabel. Last year I said I think he's safe, but it turns out the Titans had other feelings.
And he's in Washington now, right?
Vrabel is
he's like DC in Washington.
No, he's with the Browns.
Browns, that's what it was.
He's with the Browns because I saw every day at practice.
He's racing them. Yeah.
He races.
The linebackers, right?
No, he races. Jameis Winston. Me and Jameis Winston have a race every day. It's been all over the internet. It's very funny. Okay, final category. Desperately in need of a fire extinguisher. These guys are on the hottest of hottest seats. Before I get to the list of people this year, the shit I got right from 2023. Brandon Staley, I had him on this list.
Okay.
He gone. Ron Rivera. I had him on this list. Also gone. Dan Quinn is there now.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick. I put Bill Belichick on the hottest seat last year, and you thought I was crazy. Yeah, you thought I was crazy, but I had this feeling that it was starting to come unglued. I think
you nailed it.
This is
it's 3 for 3.
That's the good one. But I got a list of shit that I got wrong too.
Okay.
I think Bill. I don't know if Bill's going to be back next year. I think Bill could be back next year.
Yeah.
I think he wants that record.
Every year is gonna.
But get ready for Bill Belichick in the media landscape because he's going to be everywhere.
It's gonna be fantastic
this year. He's going to be on the Manning cast.
Oh,
he's going to be a regular on the Manning cast. He's going to be in somebody else's booth. Not in the booth, but in the studio somewhere. But he's also going to be a regular on Pat McAfee. Oh, he's going to be on Inside the NFL is what he's going to be on.
That's great. I'm watching that, man.
And then he's going to be somewhere else too. I think he's got like 4 jobs this year.
Good, man.
Which is fascinating. We'll see. Anyway, shit that I got wrong from last year. These are guys that I put on the hottest of hottest seats, and they kept their jobs.
So you got 3 right. Let's see how many wrong.
Mike McCarthy.
Okay, that shouldn't have been wrong though.
Dennis Allen, Todd Bowles, Kevin Stefanski, and Robert Saleh.
Kevin Stefanski, that was the one that was.
Now, again, I remind you, I put Stefanski on there because of the organization, not because of Stefanski. He survived. All these guys survived. I would say 3 of them should not have.
Yeah, let me guess. McCarthy, Allen, and Saleh.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
They should still be on it.
Despite the fact that I was wrong last year, I'm keeping most of these guys on this list.
Okay.
Okay. Todd Bowles.
What?
I'm keeping on the list.
Really?
It's a little controversial. So my take last year was that I thought the post-Brady era and the fact that he's a black coach was going to translate to a very short leash. Okay? The Bucs won their division, tying the Saints somehow. Really, probably the only reason he didn't get fired. Baker Mayfield had a decent year. I never really wanted to put Todd Bowles on this hot seat list. I like Todd Bowles, but I do think the Bucs are an obvious regression candidate this year. They only won 9 games last year. So if they regress, even by a couple of games, it's not difficult to see the Bucs as like a 6-win team.
Oof, 6-11.
So sorry, champ, but I'm just being real. I don't think your Bucs are going to be good this year, and I think your coach is going to get fired.
You can call me champ.
Mike McCarthy, I'm keeping on the list.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
it's on everybody's.
I think that Jerry Jones is running out of both patience and brain cells. Kind of like the presidential race, right? Joe Biden needed to step. Jerry Jones isn't he a year older than Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Or maybe a year younger? I don't know. Basically the same age.
80 plus, yeah.
I think Jerry is too old and delusional to keep running this team the way that he does. You've got Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, all looking for new deals. This is the last year of Mike McCarthy's deal. I just think that Jerry still lives in a world where he thinks that it's some kind of an honor to play for the Cowboys. And I don't think that world exists anymore. I agree with him that used to be the case.
Yeah.
But nobody fucking cares about that shit anymore. Mike Zimmer is running the defense now.
That's good.
So I can see Belichick taking this job next year. I can see McCarthy getting fired.
You can see Belichick working for...
You can see Belichick working for all 32 teams, basically.
I can't see him working for Jerry Jones.
No, that's true. Maybe if
Jones
Jerry
being
dies...
his GM, and he always wants to be GM.
True.
You got to run your stuff by this guy.
That's true. I think Zimmer could take his job.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've always liked Zimmer.
I don't think Mike McCarthy... I think the Cowboys are in for a very weird season, and I don't see Mike McCarthy being their coach next year.
Agreed.
Dennis Allen of the Saints, how this guy kept his job, I have no fucking idea. He must know something about the owner. Like, where the prostitutes are buried or something.
They're waiting on Sean Payton.
Exactly.
We'll get him back, man. Just hang in there, man.
Also, they've had a terrible offseason. I don't see how the Saints actually get better this year.
Maybe their coach is better than we're giving them credit for.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Almost won in division.
I think the team is poorly managed. They do this thing every year where they remain in purgatory. You know, they always kind of hang around. They never have a good draft pick. I just don't think Dennis Allen is a very good coach. He, to me, is probably has both him and the next guy we're going to talk about are the two that I think are the most likely to be fired in season.
Okay. Who's the next guy?
Robert Saleh.
Yeah. He's got to have maybe the hottest seat. I think McCarthy has the hottest seat, but Robert Saleh is right behind him.
I think the only reason Saleh didn't get fired last year is because Rodgers went down with the Achilles on the 4th snap of the season. I really do.
But what if Rodgers stays and then they perform, 4 games better or something like that?
If they only win 4 more games, he's definitely getting fired. For sure.
How many did they win?
I don't remember, but it wasn't very many.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they were one of them. Yeah.
I mean,
I think they won 4 games. I think so. Oh.
Look, they had a ton of QB injuries, but so did the rest of the league.
They still tried to make us believe Zach Wilson. Like,
that's what I'm trying to.
The fact that they were pretending like they believed in this guy.
While everybody was out here hustling, trying to find a solution to their injured quarterback problem, these guys were just trying to feed us Zach Wilson week after week. The offensive line was clearly the worst in the league.
And they had a good defense.
And you had a lockdown defense. This is the kind of shit that tears the locker room apart.
Knowing we're better than this.
So I don't see Saleh as the Jets coach next year.
They've already had some beef in the practice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Between Wilson and Rodgers. A little something. Okay.
So the last coach that we're going to talk about is the one guy who's dropping down from the medium hot seat list to the fire extinguisher list.
Okay.
Last but not least, it may seem crazy for a coach with a 34-17 record to be on the hottest possible seat.
Wow, twice as many wins.
But that is exactly where I am putting Mr. Each and everybody in the building, Nick Sirianni.
Each individual coach, each individual player, everybody in the building.
They started out last year 10-1.
Yeah.
But after getting exposed by the 49ers...
We didn't believe at all the whole season.
No, we didn't. So they start out 10-1. They get bitch slapped by the 49ers. And then they finish the year 1-6. Lose in the first round of the playoffs.
A lot of injuries.
Very real tension on the sidelines between Sirianni and Hurts. Week after week, you could almost feel Sirianni losing the locker room in real time.
So true.
The unraveling was very real, and it became clear that Sirianni was pretty much powerless to stop it. This year, they bring in Vic Fangio to run the defense.
Yeah, he had them in his peripheral sights the whole season anyway.
And they brought in former Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore to both run and call the plays on offense, which leaves me with the obvious question for Nick Sirianni, which is, what exactly do you do here? What's your job?
I watched that a few weeks ago. What is it you say you do here?
But that is, I know it's like an obvious reference.
He's the head coach.
But he doesn't do anything.
No, man. They said, there's teams with offensive and defensive coordinators. Tomlin, he doesn't call plays.
That's true. But they're also, Jalen Hurts is also saying that the offense that they're installing this year is like 90% different from last year, which means...
Oh, shit. So they're going to have...
Kellen Moore has brought in just a completely new system.
Where was he at last year? Chargers.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, the hype machine behind him.
Also, okay, I've read a lot of reports over the summer that GM Howie Roseman is responsible for both the Fangio and the Kellen Moore hires. Now, the normal process is that the head coach goes to the GM and says, this is who I want to hire. Not the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay?
He might be hot to seat.
So, to me, even though he has the record that he has, you got Fangio, who's a former head coach. You got Kellen Moore, who, again, sus. Little strange. We all assumed that Kellen Moore was basically going to take over.
Yeah.
What's his
Brandon
name?
Staley.
Brandon Staley's job, but he didn't get offered that job. I guess when Harbaugh's available, you take Harbaugh. But still, I'm like,
He didn't exactly light things up.
No, he didn't. Given the roster and the expectations that this should be considered a Super Bowl contender, I think Sirianni is easily on the hottest seat. And I think he could be fired in the season as well. Think about it.
Yeah,
You start the year last year 10-1.
Yeah.
You finish it 1-6. If they start this year like 0-4,
yeah,
he gone.
And they could because they installed a whole new system.
Right.
Could be a setup by Roseman. And they have fired a successful coach too early before.
True. Doug Peterson.
So that shocked everybody.
I mean, I think Sirianni is probably has the most pressure on him this year than anyone.
He's so young too, man.
I'm a little out on this whole highlighter in the visor thing.
You never liked it.
That bothers me. First of all, like, get a hat. You know what I mean? Like, why are you wearing a visor? You live in Philly.
It's a hot ass take.
It's Philly. It's not that hot.
It's cold, man.
Why are you wearing a visor?
Cover the top of your head. You trying to
wear a visor when you go play golf. When you go to the game, put on a fucking hat. You know what I mean? And don't stick a fucking...
It's grounds for firing.
A highlighter tucked in the visor.
Hey, what are you highlighting?
That is like your play sheet is laminated. The highlighter doesn't work.
It's gonna wipe right off.
It's like, what do you need a fucking highlighter for?
Get a fucking marker.
Get a grease pencil. Remember those? With that weird little piece where you unwrap it?
Yeah, unravel it. I like that, a grease pencil. Get a grease pencil. Get some charcoal. Get a piece of charcoal.
Fucking highlighter in the visor is super sus.
Man, we went long today.
We did.
And that's because we care. We care about the warmth, the temperature of seats. We care about the Olympics. And we care about updates. We do this for y'all, man. So shout out to everybody who's checking it out. We'll be back soon, man. This has been another episode of SveNFL, man. Appreciate y'all. And we'll be back next week, right?
Sure.
I'm going to Norway for some gigs, but
dope.
I'll be back so we can record. So y'all stay tuned for that. It has been Jonathan Rollins.
Excuse me, Sarah.
With SveNFL. Peace.
Later, y'all.